Yeah, the seat's fine. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and get started. Let's just have you drop whatever grounding cord you've been using today to get you here to this moment. And take that nice deep inward cleansing breath. And on that out breath, extend a new line of energy from the base of the spine straight down into the center of the planet. And take a look at that tool and be observant. Is it working? Does it need to be brought into present time? Is it flowing nicely? And you can just check that by activating your inner intuition and seeing what kind of answers you get. And you may also get an answer through the sensations of your body. Do you feel like you're grounding and connecting and coming in? Or do you feel like you're still flying around? So just play with that tool a little bit. Use your Blowing Roses tool. There we go. That's looking better, people. Okay, and then we're just going to say our invocation. So just say hello to that crown. Bring it up to gold. Just bring the mind, the heart, the body into alignment with the cosmos and with the earth. There you go. And may it be with the blessings of the Supreme Being, that whatever happens during this class will benefit each of us in our spiritual growth, awareness, and understanding. Amen. We invite the angels and archangels, healers, teachers, and masters of the planetary and cosmic hierarchy to be present in whatever manner serves and protects the highest and best good of all. Om peace. Amen. All right, I'm going to give you an exercise now. I want you to please get into the center of your head and put your screen out in front of you. I'm going to have you picture another person. It can be another person in class, it can be someone you live with, it can be just a generic human being. I don't really care. In their body. You just see that in your mind eye. So there's you in your body, and you're looking at another human being in their body. And the first thing I'm going to have you consider is, when you look at another human being this way, the point is to reiterate the idea of separation. There's you in a body that symbolizes you. And then there's the other person, so other, in their body that is not your body. And there's a sense of what we call space. There's space between you. And we use our mind to perceive separateness. Now I'm going to have you play with a notion. Both DK and Jesus talk about this in their respective books. That space between you and the other person. I'm going to have you create a new idea of what space is. Again, the ego uses it to create fragments, to pixelate, to fragment, to create gap. So DK describes space. What is space? Space is entity. So don't go unconscious. Space is entity. Notice what comes into your mind. Where do you have to go to even make any sense of that statement? Where do you have to go in your mind to even catalog or comprehend that statement? Space is entity. what kind of entity, for lack of a better word, would comprise you and the other person and all of the quote space between you and around you. Move into that entity. And I invite you to become aware that as you do move into this entity, your ability to keep other bodies outside of this entity diminishes greatly. Sometime last month, we took a journey expanding our consciousness to the universe, going from one unit, from one circumscribed or one ring pass knot of a unit of consciousness into larger ring pass knots or larger units. So from the individual into humanity as a whole, into the planetary consciousness as a whole, into the solar system, and on and on. So as you start to play with this notion of space, this time I want you to stay here, focusing on what kinds of shifts happen in your mind when you begin to, from your inner eye, from vision, look out at humanity, look out at people around you, people you know, people you interact with, people you see on television, people you know exist, even if you don't know them personally. And be aware of space as entity. So if you think of space being on the horizontal plane, time being on the vertical plane, time is now. Entity is all. Time is now, eternal. Space is all. It's one. You begin to see where you are headed as an awakening consciousness, this awakening being. Notice that as you look at that horizontal expansion, it's limitless. And as you look at that vertical expansion, it is also limitless. Time is now, it's eternal. Space is all. This entity is all that is, there's no edges. Begin to move here and remember, oh, I see, this is where I live. This is where we live. And just become willing to let go of the things in the mind that sit in opposition to this direction, to this remembrance. From this larger entity, again in the center of your head, look back at the unit of consciousness that you know as your personality. And notice that that personality can stack up thought forms, ideas. They create lenses. They create pictures. Notice that those pictures don't really exist in entity. They don't exist in this larger entity. But you can understand that that unit of consciousness you know as personality is creating pictures, and that is why you have this illusion or this hallucination of space, meaning gap, meaning disconnection. those pictures are stacked there, and the physical eyes are commanded to see and to perceive uh, what is actually being projected onto matter. So you're really looking at a picture of your own internal state of mind. You haven't actually changed the nature of space. You haven't actually changed the nature of oneness. And you can let those pictures dissolve. And now think of a person that you know, anyone, but it's someone specifically that you do know. Picture them standing across from you and do the same exercise. Notice that when you picture that person that way, the idea is to think of them as separate and to interact with them as separate, and you're looking at them through your pictures of what they are and what your relationship is and what you want from them. And they're doing the same. And so that space between you is cluttered perceptually, not actually. And it greatly affects the way you experience your interaction with the other person. Now, as you work with this person and you begin to understand that we are one in this way, that you're in the same entity, just like all the different various cells in your body are in one entity. There's trillions of cells, over 200 different functions, and yet they are all in one. And the life and the whole point of all those trillions of cells is not separation, but diversity within unity. So same thing, as you look at this person, see what happens to you. Where do you go when you stop insisting that space teach you about this idea of separateness, and you let space bring you into the fold, into the entity, into oneness. And as you do this with one person, begin to let it become exponential. Let it go out and out and out, including everyone, including every single person you can possibly think of. What do I want to teach myself about time and space? What do I want to teach myself about myself? How do I want to live? How do I want to experience my livingness? It will greatly depend on how you work with space and time. On which eye you use, perception or vision. Breathe. Check your emotional body. We do not want to cloud up this space with negativity. So anything that sounds like guilt, like criticism, that sounds like, I don't know, pushback or hiding or anything at all, be aware of it and please release it. Very nice. Good job, everyone. Very nice job. Okay, now when you're ready, you can reach up and grab that big gold sun, making sure that your body being matrix is completely full of your light and your love, your power and your presence. And all the citizens of your body, all the cells, all the molecules, all the atoms, all the quanta are included in your hello and brought up to this gold, brought into harmonic resonance with the whole. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come out of trance.